800-700-6898.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investor Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live.
You're hot.
The Larry Steinhouse Show.
All right, everybody, good afternoon, and welcome to another exciting edition of The Larry Steinhouse Show. How can it be exciting after listening to Passport Boring? I mean, please.
I wonder if anybody, you know what we should have done? We should have asked the other people the other day whether or not they listened to her before they listened to our show. Remember?
Yeah, the problem is the people who listen to that show either turn this show off and don't turn our show on until 5 or 10 minutes into the show because they can't. I mean, I have to listen to it while we're preparing, right? Because I have it in my headphones. And to say it's the most boring show would call it a compliment.
You know what we should do, and we've been talking about it forever.
How could PHT, I understand, PHT listeners, right? Listen, I'll tell you what. You guys want to call us and tell me what you think of Passport Mommy? I'd love to hear this because it is the most boring show ever. Now, Omri's not here today, so he can't give you the phone number, so I'll give it to you. 855-939-1137.
But you don't do it in the sexy voice.
939-1137. I know. Well, you should do it in a sexy voice. Can I do a sexy voice?
855-939-1137.
Ooh, now that was interesting.
That's 855-939-1137.
Now, wow, you actually sounded wow. Wow.
Larry's got movement now.
Yeah, between you and Omri, man, you know, that's awesome. Wow. Wait, okay, but I got to finish my intro just because I was so annoyed. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't hold it back anymore.
All right, it's all good.
But anyway, here we go. I'm Larry Steinhouse, broadcasting live from Investor Schooling headquarters, and joining me today is the always insightful Dr. Debbie Anderson, bringing her wisdom, perspective, and ability to keep me from getting into too much trouble. Although it was very interesting that you sounded like Omri a minute ago. All right, now before we get started, a quick announcement. Omri Morad is out for the show today. For a little while, he has to work. He has to do something. He's actually taking care of family. He's got something going on. And the good news is he'll be back soon, probably for show number 2, so that's good too. The bad news is that Debbie and I might actually be able to finish our thoughts today. ChatGPT is great. I love it. I don't read these beforehand. I want to know how ChatGPT knows this stuff, right?
That's funny.
It's great, right? We've got a jam-packed show for you today. We'll be talking about stock options, real estate investing, interest rates, retirement planning, wealth building strategies, and what's really happening in today's economy. We'll separate the headlines from reality and give you practical information that you can actually use. We're also taking your calls because this show is about your financial future. Whether you have questions about investing, real estate, mortgages, taxes, retirement, or just want a second opinion on a final decision or financial decision, we'd love to hear from you. Hey, Glenn, do you have Omri's phone number reading?
Yeah, I do. You want me to play it?
Yeah.
855-939-1137. That's 855-9...
Deb's is better.
11.
I tell you what, Debbie,
call us
Debbie,
at 855-939-1137.
We'll have to, we'll have to record me doing it like 6 times,
11,
so that this way, when I'm not here, I can do the phone number and everybody can get excited.
Any more, Omri? No more reading the phone number? All right. 855-939-1137.
If you want it again, ask.
Do you want to do it again? What'd you say?
Just ask.
Say that, Glenn. What'd you say?
If you want it again, just ask. It's ready to go.
All right, you got it. All right, 855-939-1137. You can call in, and you can tell me how much you hate Passport Mommy so I can feel better. Actually, if you tell me you love Passport Mommy, that'd be the best thing ever. You know why? Because I won't feel like, they ruined my audience. But I'm sure that no one's listening to WPHT right now because as soon as Passport Mommy comes on, they turn the radio off, and then they eventually turn it back on, right?
I know, but a lot of people have told us, people who have watch our show, say that they turn it on right at 1 to listen to us. So it doesn't even matter that they're not even listening to all that crap.
I know, it's whatever. Anyway, don't forget to visit investorschooling.com and RSVP for a free class this Thursday night, where we teach real estate investing, stock options, and wealth building strategies designed for real people. I want to thank our sponsors, of course, the Sultan Income Fund. Invest with the Sultan, collect like a king. It's designed for accredited investors seeking income-focused opportunities. The fund targets a preferred return of 36 to 48%, but I'm not allowed to say that anymore. I keep forgetting to pull that out of ChatGPT.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure you do.
I know. I just keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Because our attorney says we're not allowed to tell you what the returns are anymore. So, we used to say they were 36 to 48% a year, but we're not allowed to say that anymore. And actually, we're averaging, what's interesting?
What's that?
We're averaging 3.17% per month.
Okay.
That's our average rate so far. Anyway, all investments involve risk. Returns are not guaranteed. Please review the offering documents carefully and consult your financial, legal, and tax advisors before investing. Past performance does not guarantee future results. And if you want to find out more about the fund, you can actually go send me a text message, right? 26786 is the text number. So you send it to 26786, the word Sultan, 26786, the word Sultan, and you'll get more information on the Sultan Fund. I know you guys have been hearing about it for a long time. It's great stuff. It's real. And we'll tell you all about it. You'll be able to find out more about it. So 26786 is the phone number, the word Sultan.
And then the Aviator Fund is
so the
live
Aviator
now.
is the same thing, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So what basically happened is, because we opened the first one, we called it the Sultan Income Fund. We've actually changed the company to Sultan Management, and the first one's called the Sultan Income Fund. It was the first one. The new one is the Sultan Aviator Fund. So it's basically the same type of fund, a little bit different, but basically the same thing. Yeah. Also, want to thank Joe Keller at Cross Country Mortgage, the only person I trust to get me a mortgage, especially for high-end and complex loans over $2 million. Whether you're buying, refinancing, or investing, call Joe directly at 215-817-9084. So grab your cup of coffee. Grab your what are things that are that would hype you up after
like Red Bull and all that.
Yeah, Red Bull, right? Red Bull coffee. Just because I know you were sleeping after Passport Mommy. So anyway,
here you go.
Let's get into it. The
All
Larry
right.
Steinhouse Show is here. I'm Larry Steinhouse. Yay! What's up, Dr. Deb?
So I bought a house this
I
week.
know you bought a house this week. I'm so
bought a
excited to
house
talk
this
about that,
week.
right?
I'm so excited.
So excited.
There was a woman. We were actually. I was talking to this woman. I don't know, a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, whatever. And she was talking to me about how her mom had a bunch of places in Philly that she had, and she was looking to start selling. So I'm like, give me your number. Let's have a conversation. And we started talking. And then I think it was on a Friday that Omri and I went to go see the place. So it's in the Frankfurt section of Philly. So it's a row home. There's lots of parking on the street, which is awesome because usually in Philly it's hard to find a place to park. And it's actually a pretty nice street. It looks like it's pretty well kept. Everything, there's some places in Philly that are not so great, and other places that are really not bad. And this is definitely one of those places that are actually pretty nice. I'm pretty excited about it. And I was chatting with her, and she was like, "Oh, I want this much, I want that much," and she was very. And it wasn't towards me, but she was very, very bitter and very angry when we started chatting. And I think it's just because she's tired of being a landlord. She's tired of dealing with tenants. She had her properties listed for lower than what she should have because she should have been able to get a lot more money than what she was asking for. And it seems like every time she turned around, she had some other issue or some other problem. And it sounds like she's had not great tenants in the past, and she's just done. Like, she is really just done. So this was the first one, and she started rehabbing it. She was doing a little bit of rehab on it. Not major rehab, just like minor things, putting in some new appliances, fixing up a couple places in the floor, just like stupid things. Nothing, like, I don't even think it needs $5,000 worth of work. Like, it really just doesn't. Maybe some new appliances and some minor stuff. It really is just minor stuff. But it looks like it's pretty much ready to go, which is great. So we were chatting, and like I said, once she started calming down a little bit, my big thing was just, hey, let me just talk. I was just letting her talk. So then once she got over her, like, bitchiness, and, Omri and I just started asking her questions, and we were just agreeing with her, and then we were just talking to her, and then she started going off on tangents, kind of like you do. She just would start going off on tangents, talking about whatever.
Hey, I bought a car this week?
Yeah. So she started talking about tangents, and we were just there listening. So we ended up being there for, I want to say, like, it was an hour and a half. But at the end, I think she felt pretty comfortable, and there was no pressure. It wasn't like, you have to let me buy this house from you. I have to buy it, blah, blah, blah. It was more like, tell me what's going on with you, what's going on with your life.
Right.
Why are you having so much trouble? What do you think you want to do? Is there a way that maybe we can get you to keep this house and get a better renter in there? Have you tried Section 8? Whatever. We were just kind of giving her a lot of ideas to say, maybe this would be better for you to keep. And she was just adamant about being done. But what was interesting was, so I think it was on a Friday, and I reached back out to her. I think it was Monday or Tuesday, and just to say, hey, just want to let you know I'm still interested. If something changes, let me know. I'm here. I'm happy to chat with you. And she didn't get back. I think I reached back out to her maybe Thursday or Friday, and she finally had gotten back to me about a week later. And she's like, I'm ready to sell. I'm like, okay, great, and she agreed to the price I originally agreed on, and I'm like, all right, I'll be there in a couple hours, and we'll do the paperwork, and I was talking to her, I'm like, so what changed your mind? What happened? She goes, she's like, actually, it was you.
Really?
And I said, really? Like, what do you mean? She goes, you were very. She's like, you wanted to hear what I had to say. She's like, you weren't pushing me to sell this house. She was just like, you were just like, I'm here when you're ready. Let me know what you want to do. And she said she was talking to other people about selling her place. And I understand because, you got to do what's best for you. And she said they kept calling me. They were really pushy. They wouldn't let it go. They were offering me less, and they just wouldn't stop, and they were hounding her. Wow. And I was offering her a little bit more, not by much, maybe I think like $2,000 more than what they were offering her. But I was just kind of like, I'm here when you're ready. Let me know what you need, and that's why she came back to me, which was awesome.
It was great. Yeah,
and what's great about it is that she owns 5 properties on the same street, which is why I'm really interested. So she's got the one across the street, which is the one I just bought the other day, and then she's got 4 lined up. So it's a single, and then a duplex, and then half a duplex, and they're all right next to each other. And she plans on selling that one. That's the next one that's across the street in October. She plans on selling it, and I'm just like, hey, let me know. I definitely would be interested. I'd love to work with you again, and whatever. And she's just like, all right, I'll let you know. So if I can get 5 on one street,
that'd be fantastic.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
That would really be fantastic.
Sure.
So
getting 5 properties is great, but on the same street is fantastic.
Yeah, it's just would make things
so much easier.
Yeah, it'd be a lot easier for everything. You know what I mean? I
Sure.
get everything done in one shot, and it would be great. So I'm excited. So I just closed on, what was it? I closed on Thursday. Yeah, so I just closed on Thursday.
I remember, right? Yeah. And wait, didn't you get some money back at that closing?
I did. I got back something like $49,400 and change. It was insane.
So wait, let me get this straight. You bought a house.
I bought a house with no money.
With no money. Did you put a deposit down?
No.
No, right. You didn't put anything, right? So you went to contract. You put no deposit down. Right?
No deposit.
Then you go to closing and you get a check for
$49,400. I think it was like $46.53 or something like that. Whatever. It was like
$50,000.
Yeah, it was just under $50,000.
$50,000. You get a check back. So then, and then when you rent this place, what do you think your cash flow is going to be?
I think I could get around $1,500 or $1,600 for it.
And then after that, what's your cash flow? Like $200 a month?
Yeah,
right?
At least.
So you make $200 a month, and you get $50,000 of closing.
Yeah.
So you created money out of thin air.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I find it so funny, like people that they don't believe that this can be done.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
They're like, well, you can't do that. Well, we just did.
Yeah.
So if we just did, why can't you? Why can't we do it? Right? We do it all the time. This is what we teach at investor schooling: how to buy houses with no money.
Yeah. So.
Right? And people don't think you can do it, but you can absolutely do it. You just have to learn how.
Yeah.
And it's funny because people they're like, that can't be done. That can't be done. That can't be done. My friend said mortgages you have to put 25% down. I'm like, well, your friend doesn't know anything. Yeah. And stop listening to broke people.
Yeah.
The more and more you learn, the better. So what did we do this week? We had an interesting event this week.
We did have an interesting event this week. So on Thursday, we were at the Irish River for the Rotary Club.
Yeah, Langhorne Rotary.
Langhorne Rotary Club.
Right, which was kind of interesting. We went there, and I think I've been to Rotary once ever before.
I know of it, and I know that there's a lot of these little things, but I don't know much about them. But I know that they collect money and they give money out to different programs and that kind of thing, right? So
it's kind of a neat community thing.
Yeah. So we went, and it's funny because the place that we met at, my husband and I, we have our date night there, like almost every Friday night.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So we're always there Friday nights to go because we know we're always sitting at the bar, so we know the bartenders, and it's just as funny. So when they said, "Hey, we're going to the Rover," we're like, "Oh, all right, it's great." So we went there, and they did their, we ate, and they had their business meeting.
They brought us lunch. That was cool.
Yeah, they had lunch, and they had a little activity there with like a fun activity with marshmallows and spaghettis and stuff, and it was just fun. And so Larry actually goes up. They're doing their business, and then they bring Larry up.
So, I was going up to speak about our charity.
Our charity, right? Right. So then Larry goes up, and so we already introduced ourselves to a lot of the people there. Larry Steinhouse, Deb Anderson, nice to meet you. Thanks for having us. Blah blah blah. Right. And then Larry gets up there. And anybody know who I am? And everybody's quiet. Nobody knows who this guy is, which is kind of funny. I guess because I've been around here for so long, I just assume. Anyway, he starts to talk. And then the lady who was running the meeting, she's like, wait a minute, aren't you Larry Steinhouse from the radio? And then the whole room changed. It was hysterical. She's like, and she was so excited. And she was starstruck.
Gushing,
yeah, she was starstruck and like, oh my God. And he's like, that's Dr. Deb. You're Dr. Deb. And it was just like, hey, how are you? We just start laughing. And then there was somebody else in the audience there. She's like, oh, I hear you guys. Yeah, that's the old time. And somebody else is there. I listen to 1210 all the time too. And it was just so funny. And they're like, I can't believe you're here. I can't believe you're sitting here. I can't believe you're talking to us. And it was just it was starstruck, but it was funny. It was so funny to see because you hear about it, but like seeing it firsthand.
We were there for half an hour and people didn't know who we were.
Yeah. I think we were there for like 45 minutes because we only had like 7 minutes to chat, but it was just like, but we were there the whole time. Nobody knew who we were. And they were just kind of making chit chat. Oh, it's nice to see you. Glad you came. Who are you? And it was just kind of funny. But when he started talking, she heard the voice right away. So it was just kind of funny.
Yeah, exactly. And we were talking about Lev 27. Let's talk about it real quick because actually it's a great organization. We have a charity called Lev 27 where we basically help people stay in their homes. So it's for renters who have had, they never had trouble before paying their rent. And all of a sudden something happened. They lost their job. It's a temporary thing. They lost their job. Maybe they got sick. We had one, where the wife got sick and whatever. And what we'll do is we'll cover their rent for a month or two, whatever it is, and then we'll also cover the legal fees to keep them in their apartment as long as the landlord agrees to keep them, and as long as they can show they can keep paying their rent. Yeah. And so we were there talking about that, and we didn't even talk about it at schooling, although people started asking questions because they knew who we were. Yeah, yeah. As soon as they sort of just figured out who we were, they started asking questions.
Right. But it was what was interesting is that I don't see you get choked up very often.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I've known you quite a while, and I think that's the second time I've ever seen you get choked up.
Yeah.
So it was just
because the first one was.
It was with Omri when you were doing the morning show with Omri.
Oh with Omri's
brother. Yeah. That's the first time I saw you get choked up.
Yeah.
But it was just neat.
We were talking about the people we've helped.
Yeah.
And so it's great because it's just like some of them are really sad situations, but sad situations that are temporary, and that's what we stepped in. We were able to help them, and it was funny. The very last one that we helped was kind of funny. Was the guy who got ripped off on the internet? He got.
He gave his rent money. The poor guy. I'm telling you, that poor guy. He gave his rent money to somebody on the internet. Like reached out to him in Facebook message. Hey, you want to make a lot of money? Okay, sure. The guy's an old man. Right? Yeah. Hey, just give me all your money and I'll run away with it. I was like, I know.
So that happens. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. But no, it was just pretty neat. And then we had to run because you had a thing, and I actually had to go close on the house, and it took me like 45 minutes to get there. So I'm like rushing to get
that
to
was
closing.
The closing we were just talking about.
Yeah, that was the closing that we just did. Sorry, I just did, and then you had a meeting, so I had to drop.
Right.
So we were hoping that the guys would come to lunch there, but they didn't. They ended up going somewhere else. So I had to drive you back, which is fine. I don't care.
Right, sure.
But it was just like we're like rushing. So when I'm rushing, my head is anywhere but where it's supposed to be, and of course I hit the wrong turn, and then it took us another 10 minutes to or whatever. It was just kind of funny how that worked out, but yeah. So at the end of the day, I bought a house, and I was excited.
There you go.
And then the Rotary Club was very nice and very generous to us, and they were. It was nice to see them. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. By the way, if you want to call in and talk about anything, 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. So between Passport Mommy being our intro and everybody turned the radio off and it being a beautiful day out, I'm not expecting any calls. So we could probably just go to radio silence. What do you think, Glenn? You think we go to radio silence for a half hour? Anybody would even notice?
I think. Well, if we're doing that, then why am I here? You could have just done that anyway.
Glenn didn't respond. I'm wondering if we are in radio silence.
Oh, see, Glenn's not even paying attention to us. Nice.
we might not even be on the I
kidding. I'm listening.
Did we put you to sleep? Is that what happened?
I heard everything you said. Yes. I think Frank would notice.
Frank would notice.
Frank would notice if there's Frank.
Greg would notice.
Frank's in charge of what's on the air. That's right.
Oh, we're coming in the next couple of weeks to make some commercials.
So all the commercials have always had my voice.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to have a couple of commercials with Dr. Deb's voice and Omri's voice.
I know, it's kind of scary, right?
No, for me. Maybe for you.
Well, what was it? It was last week or the week before. Omri and I were at Floor and Decor, and I was trying to talk to the guy behind the counter about so I'm redoing my one bathroom upstairs. so my kids have moved out, and I guess it's a spare bathroom. I don't know, but it's just been there. We just haven't. It's all the original stuff, and we just wanted to redo it to make it look nice. And I was trying to talk. I couldn't find a nice cabinet that would look nice in the bathroom that they had there. And I'm like, show me what you have, and I couldn't find anything. And then I was trying to talk to the guy behind the counter, and he wasn't very helpful. So I said something to Omri, and Omri's completely ignoring me. And I look over at him. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to talk to you. You're not even having a conversation with me. He's too busy. And he didn't even hear that either. And then I start listening into the conversation, and he's talking to a fan of ours because she recognized our voices right away when we started talking. So it was just pretty funny. And she's like, you're Dr. Deb. And like, this is Omri. Oh my God, you guys do the show. And then we ended up taking a picture with her because she was so super excited, because apparently sometimes she leaves to go sit in the car to listen to us when she's on her break. And I thought that was great. So
maybe she's in the car now.
Maybe she's in the car now.
And listen, if you're in the car right now, what should we say?
Give us a call.
Or turn the radio up so everybody, turn the windows down, turn the radio up so everybody else can hear.
Okay.
How's that? Or give us a call, of course.
Yeah.
And what's the phone number?
855-939-1137. Wow. Stop, you make me laugh.
Yeah. Do that again.
855-939.
We'll just run 2 hours of Dr. Deb saying the number.
I know.
There we go.
The problem is, so WPHT would go from passport mommy to porn.
Yeah, right. All right. So try to get. Stop saying something. Stop so I can focus.
Go ahead.
855-939. All right. 855-939-1137.
Okay.
All right.
I was able to hold that one back. Usually I can't hold back with a woman. That one I was able to.
So funny. So
yeah, sorry, we were talking to the woman in the rodeo, was like saying, yeah, we're supposed to be a financial show, and she starts laughing and we go, we're a comedy show most of the time. She goes, yeah, I know, that's why I like to listen to it. Anyway. All right, so you bought a house. That's exciting, right?
Yeah, and I have 2 more that I'm closing on in like 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm going on.
You're going to be a real estate mogul.
God willing. So I was actually. So there's a couple things going on.
You're a real estate mogul. I'm teasing, but
no, whatever. I don't feel like I'm there yet, so I still got to work on it.
Why don't we talk about that?
Okay.
So here's an interesting thing. So it's funny, like I go to a lot of real estate events, right? Because I speak there often, and people come to me like, one day I'm going to be a real estate investor. I'm like, how many pieces of property do you have? Oh, I have 3. Like, you are a real estate investor.
Yeah.
How many properties do you have? I have 1. You are a real estate investor. The weird part is people think they're not a real estate investor unless they have a certain amount of properties.
No, that's not what I said. I already know I'm a real estate investor. Right. I just don't feel like I'm a mogul yet. Right. I don't feel like I have enough yet. That's my difference.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't realize, they look back, they don't realize what they have. I mean, we've had some of these conversations, right? Yeah. I actually had somebody, it was funny, one of our students, so Bill, I can say his last name.
Okay, yeah.
Right, he was the other day he was talking to me. And like every entrepreneur, we go through times where we're worth millions, but we have no cash.
Yeah.
Right. Like our bill's coming up and I can't pay it.
Yeah.
And you're like, and I said, well, you should, I joked, and he was all worried about it. I said, why don't you go to your next door neighbor, knock on the door?
You said that to me the other day.
I know, and it worked for you.
It was annoying.
Right. And this is what I said, right? So I said, knock on somebody's door. I say, listen, I own $6 million worth of real estate, but I need $5 to buy a card for my friend or whatever to pay my bill, or $200 to pay my bill, and see what they say.
Yeah.
And here's what happens, right? We forget that it's not that bad.
No, I know. It just
right. The pressing little bill that we have. That I don't know. Maybe it's not $200. Maybe it's not that important in the grand scheme of our money, right?
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
What? Where's
somebody online just wrote, "Where's Svetlana? I have cigarettes." Now I'm trying to figure out. There's like so many things that can mean, and I realize, and every single one of them is has a sexual connotation. But it's just very funny that you wrote that.
Yeah, she's actually in Europe, but she'll be back in 2 weeks.
She's
coming with me.
She's got her own cigarettes in Europe. Don't worry.
There you
go.
Yeah, so she's coming with me to Arkansas when I close on those properties. That's why. That's actually why I'm going a little bit later.
Right.
Yeah, because she's actually going to come with me because she came with me the last time and we had such a blast. So she's going to come with me this time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that'll be good. Yeah, and then I'm also we were just looking at a property that's in Jersey. And this would be kind of cool if I can get this one. So this one is a 5-unit apartment building. and then there's 2 single houses, and it's all attached. It sounds like it's all attached to one building. I'm not sure. I'm going to go look at it on Monday, and that is between around 900,000. I think he's willing to go. We're going to see if we can get him down.
And you got some cash flow in there. I know we looked at it the other day. It was great.
Yeah, so that would be cool to get that one. You know what I mean? Like with the 5 properties, so that would be 7 doors. You know what I mean? In one shot, which would be pretty cool. So
the more you buy, the better.
Yeah.
So, wow.
What?
We have to talk about the stock market after the break, but we have to talk about the stock market because it was really bad on Friday.
I didn't look, so I have to say that since I've been doing monthlies, I'm less stressed about it.
Right,
yeah, so
right,
I just